Are you searching for information on opening a medical spa business? Or maybe you already own one, but you just can't seem to find a way to make it profitable or scalable? What if I told you that I have created proven benchmarking strategies for how to thrive and succeed in the medical elective and med spa industry, and that I would like to share them with you right here, right now? For those of you who are new here, I'm Kelly Smith, CEO and founder of Projected Growth Consulting. With over 20 years in the medical aesthetics field and having assisted over 5,000 practices, I'm an industry expert, author, and speaker who has built seven-figure businesses and beyond for myself and my clients. There are 3 steps to success that I'm going to share with you today. Why should you know your numbers? 1. Which numbers are most important? 2. And lastly, how to take action. 3. As I work with my executive coaching clients and MEDSPA growth accelerators, my first step is to collect data and analyze it. We look at monthly revenue by profit center. We look at production by staff, number by day, revenue by hour, by month, capacity analysis, expense benchmarking, return on investment, the list goes on. So you might be asking yourself, why do we need that data for every client? Well, if there's a problem or you want to take things to the next level, you have to gather data to see where you are and where you have an opportunity to improve. Making data-driven decisions is key. Using our PGC financial app helps you make decisions with confidence and knowledge that you need to scale your med spa, plastic surgery, or functional medical practice. So let's go back to the 3 steps. 1. Why should you know your numbers? You want to improve your numbers, but you can't improve what you don't track and measure. So many of us don't know our lead conversion, closing ratios, number of appointments booked, average lifetime value of a client, average sale. All of these things are critical to get clear so that we know where the opportunities are to grow your practice revenue and profit. Tracking is the first step. Step 2, which numbers are the most important to know? Of course, this will vary a bit depending on your goals, but your key performance indicators, or KPIs, will give you a pulse on your plan versus performance and how you stack up to other like-sized businesses who are profitable. You should also look at industry averages to determine your expenses and what they should be, what your cost per lead should run, what your conversion ratios should look like against what they're currently looking like. The aesthetics industry is unique, and these benchmarks vary depending on the size of your practice and what you offer. If you're looking for specific benchmarks, let's say pay rates for staff, profit for staff, productivity, these are the things that we talk about every day in our MEDSPA Growth Accelerator and with executive coaching clients. If you are wondering if you are over or you're under, for example, rent should be about 5% of your income. If you're under that, fabulous. If you're over that, then we need to work on bringing your revenue up. Benchmarks are crucial for making sure you're not losing money in your practice or missing out on revenue opportunities. Now, step 3, taking action. The key to success is always implementation. That's what it's all about. You tracked your numbers in step 1, you studied your KPIs in step 2, but what do you do with the information? These business goals and the implementation is an ongoing process. You'll want to implement small changes on a regular basis to see the changes you want with your KPIs, expense ratios, and conversion ratios, and then ultimately the increase in revenue and profit. You need a system to meet those goals and concerns and then to track them as they come into fruition. It's a chore sometimes to pull these numbers together and take time to think through what you really need to know, especially with so many parts to your business, such as marketing, operations, and finance. And sometimes you'll need to improve multiple areas of your business at once. Let's say, for example, the issue is marketing. You don't have enough leads, and your conversion process could get better. What is your cost per lead? What is your conversion ratio? What is your upsell and resell amounts? These are the things we want to benchmark and then train your staff on how to improve upon them. Are we meeting the industry benchmarks? I know this is a lot, which is why I've created over 150 easy-to-use tools, a financial benchmarking app, video training, and weekly Q&As in my MEDSPA Growth Accelerator so that you can optimize and scale your elective medical practice. Like I mentioned before, if you want to know specific benchmarks or performance, schedule a success call with my team and download some of our proven tools, and we'll be happy to offer you more information on payroll, retail, cost of goods, as well as a free expense benchmarking analysis for your practice. Click the link below, and remember, it's all about the implementation.